This episode is sponsored by National Technology Management. Visit trustntm.com for more information. I'm Kelly Siegel, and this is Harder Than Life, a podcast about self-love, self-awareness, business, and health. We tell outrageous stories and boil everything down to simple, practical advice you can start using today. Let's get living. Welcome to another episode of Harder Than Life, the podcast where we deep dive into stories of extraordinary individuals who have faced life's toughest challenges and emerged victorious. I'm your host, Kelly Siegel, and today we have an incredible guest with us, Markus Kaulius. Markus Kaulius is a symbol of resilience and determination, a living testament to the boundless human spirit. In this episode, we'll explore his extraordinary journey from adversity to triumph, uncovering the keys to his remarkable success. From modest beginnings to becoming a trailblazer in his field, Markus's story is a shining example of what can be achieved with unwavering dedication and passion. Without further ado, let's welcome Markus Kaulius to Harder Than Life. Markus, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here today.
Oh, brother, the honor and pleasure is mine. Thank you for the beautiful introduction. And I'm just going to cast my vote now. We should do the original intro that got blown by me saying thank you, and we were all laughing about it.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
So we're going to start. I'm just going to kick this thing off. I'm going to go right off script, right off the bat. And I want to tell you, the listeners, where I met you in LA at a book signing event, and we ran off. First, I met you in the elevator. I was coming from the gym, and we hey, how you doing? And so like attracts like. There was an energy right then and there. I knew it was the guy I had to meet. And then we went over and we started talking when all the meetings were going on, and we deep dive. And I told you I was God curious, and you said, hey, do me a favor. And you said, ask God for something, and then this time pay attention because I've done it before. So I did. And if you remember, when we were in LA, there was the tropical storm, there was a hurricane, there was an earthquake, and I didn't tell you what I'd asked God for. And I just asked God to get to, because I had multiple of things I had to be at, multiple commitments that I had to be at. And I rented a car, and I had to drive kind of all over California, and the weather was horrible. And I just said, God, get me to my destination safe, sound, on time, and back to my daughter on time. And if you remember, the weather was horrible, and I drove through terrible car accidents. You know, LA, they don't understand how to drive, and the roads are not prepared for that kind of rain that was coming through. And I was just literally texting and driving. And I'm from Michigan, so I'm used to this stuff. And cars are just hitting the wall and smacking it. And I'm looking down at my text. I probably shouldn't be texting. And I had to go to several commitments, and everything was flawless all the way through to the airport home, which was tight. I get out of my car at LAX, and the guy looks at me and goes, hey, you're a famous TikToker. I was like, all the way in LA, they recognize me. So not only did everything go perfect, safe, sound, on time, I got recognized by a bunch of people, and I said, wait till I see Markus to tell him that God took care of me.
I love that, brother. And my favorite part is that you recognized it this time. You were watching. How many of us ask for those things from God, and then he gives it all to us in miraculous ways, and then we go, oh, man, I had a good day. And it's like, wait, what? What a blessing. And I was there. That weather was insane. So, man, I love hearing that, and I hope you've just kept talking to him and kept moving that relationship forward, brother.
Oh, I have, and it's getting a little bit, it's getting weird. Everything just keeps aligning for me, and I've surrendered even more and more and more and more, and it just keeps working. So I listened to your paradigm shift with Craig Siegel, and I just heard your positivity, and we're gonna dive into some good stuff. I want to share your faith, your love, and your positivity with the Harder Than Life listeners. So can you share a pivotal moment in your life that ignited your passion and drive to succeed against all odds?
Oof, man, there's a few, but I want to talk about one of my favorite pivotal moments in life. It's one of the best things to ever happen to me, when I was kicked in the face by a horse. Bam! I was 13 years old, and it's a bit of a story. I'll try and keep it brief, but we were asked to go round up these horses. And there was one, they're like, hey, be careful of that one. It's a stud. And I'm like, well, that's perfect because I'm a stud. So I'll just go get that horse. And I went for it. Now I know you don't walk behind a horse. I know. So as I was walking up behind the horse, no, I'm kidding. As I was about to grab his face, he took off and I saw him take off. Now, of course, this is the memory of someone who was obviously a little bit concussed. But I turn around and I hear this, turn around, bam, right in the chin. Knocked out, teeth everywhere. And when I came to, I mean, it was like chiclets and blood. It was messed up. And you're probably going, okay, so why is this such a great moment? This was a turning point in my life. This is where gratitude really began. I know right now I'm on borrowed time. Do you know how many places your upper body can handle 2,000 pounds of pressure? I got smacked both feet right here. Anywhere else, my face would have been shattered and probably fragments of something would have lodged in my brain and I was toast. In the chest, in the throat, game over. So since that day, I've been on a path of gratitude. Like that was a really pivotal moment for me. And whenever I'm thinking too much about myself, thinking too inwardly, thinking about Marcus, oh, poor Marcus, about anything, I go back to that moment. And I shouldn't be here anyway. So I might as well make an awesome time while I'm here.
I love it. I got ran over by a jet ski doing 80 miles an hour right in my jaw. Spit out
Ooh.
6 teeth. Oh, it wasn't fun. So I get it. Same concept. It was just a fluke thing. I was riding with my best friend and it just a wave went up and it just flung him right into me. And it was just a fluke. I'm like, oh. And that's when I knew I could take a punch. So I should have went into boxing, but I didn't. My face is too pretty to get hits like yours. What were the biggest obstacles you faced on your journey and how did you find the strength to overcome them?
There's been a lot. So people who've heard about me, I grew up really poor. When my parents divorced early on in life, I was with my mom who went back to school full time, had to work full time, and we just kept moving to smaller and smaller place, having less and less money. We had no clothes. Like all of my clothes growing up were my sister's hand-me-downs. I had a lot to overcome, and just the idea of not having a dad around the house. Now, I'm not saying poor me by any means. I mean, I've dealt with all that stuff. I'm actually so grateful that that's my story. It's because of those things, because of the challenges that made me work harder, that made me know that I had to put in more effort, give more if I wanted more out of life. And it's because of that that so many people are drawn to me who have a similar past. You know how many guys I run into who have daddy issues? I mean, we all have daddy issues, but like that's an instant bond for people. Like, oh my goodness, you have daddy issues too. Like we just naturally are drawn to each other. And hey, I got over my daddy issues. I was able to forgive my father, more than forgive my father. I love my father for the role he played in my life. He played it perfectly. He wasn't around. And that sad and sucked and tormented me for many years. But today I can thank him and love him for playing that role because I'm super independent. I'm super sensitive to people who are in that same position. And I have so much love for young dudes who haven't gotten through that yet. And if you're listening and you're like, oh my goodness, maybe this guy could help me, I would love to help. So let's connect.
I'm glad you went there. So many people struggle with self-doubt. And how do you maintain that unwavering self-belief during those challenging times?
Wow.
I mean, and the positivity, it just comes way through.
Thank you, brother. Well, let's start by saying it's a journey. I wasn't like this overnight. It takes time. So I've seen a lot of people start on that journey and give up too early. Like they started to see actually some of the benefits, but then it's like, well, I thought I was going to be, I don't know, like Marcus at this point. And it's like what you're seeing, this is over 30 years of growth and work and constant discipline and focusing on the things I want to achieve and the person I want to become. And it takes a lot of habits. It takes a lot of discipline. Man, I focus a lot on gratitude. Gratitude is a big part of my life. And I think one of the things that people get so caught up with is the inward thinking, like me, and how do I feel today? And I'm feeling anxious about this. And man, there's just no benefit in that. And what the real turning point for me was not just focusing on gratitude, but focusing on serving others. And I know for a lot of people listening, I heard it for so many years, like I kind of don't even know what that means. Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to go serve at the food bank? Sure, that's a great place to start. Why not? When's the last time you did that? When's the last time you went out and grab a buddy and go, hey, you want to go serve at a food bank tonight? See how that feels. See when you're there how anxious you feel about anything, how much you're going, me. You're going, oh my goodness, there's people who are not only way worse off than me, but need me to show up today. And then there was something that really triggered for me of this world needs Markus playing at his best, playing at the highest level I can play. If I don't show up the best version of Markus every day, I'm missing out on so much, and so is this world. I'm depriving the world. I'm depriving my family, my friends, my coworkers, my business associates, my business partners of what they could be experiencing, the success in life they could be experiencing. And I don't just mean finances. I mean, like, you think being around people who are full of gratitude, full of love, ready to serve, doesn't make you feel so much better, doesn't help you go home and be a better husband and father and lover and friend and all of that. So, man, I just have such a higher purpose. And this is not about me. This is the role I've been sent here to play.
I notice I'm so quiet. I just let you roll. I love it. What daily habits or routines have played a significant role in your personal and professional growth to be this high achieving, happy go lucky, grateful individual you are?
Oh, thank you, brother. There's obviously tons, but let's focus on a couple of the big ones. One is daily growth. It's so important to get those habits in to make sure that you are a better person today than you were yesterday. Let's talk about me. I should be focusing on me. I need to be a better person today than I was yesterday. So what do I have to do to make sure that that's true? I listen to great podcasts like this one, and I listen to great mentors like Ed Milet, Tony Robbins, Craig Siegel, David Meltzer, friends of both of ours. These are the guys who they've been doing amazing things for decades, and they're pouring into us. They're giving you the opportunity to do a decade in less than a year. Learn from their mistakes. And if you absorb this knowledge and come as a humble student every day, and then be so grateful that you got to learn it, that you got to hear these wonderful messages, you watch how quickly your life will transform. But it is a daily habit. You have to put into it every day, and you have to develop that discipline. And then also recognize how that discipline transfers into everything else in your life. Use that discipline, use that gratitude, use that love, use that focus on serving others, and see where else in your life can that play a role. I promise you, it's everywhere. And the more you give, the more you receive. I go home at the end of the night not exhausted, like, oh my goodness, you don't know how much I gave today, Kelly. I go home at the end of the night so filled because I got to fill other people's buckets, and I got to see it in their eyes. They're going, what you just said, that transformed me. I'm going to be a better husband. And then I get to see people who are becoming better husbands, better fathers. That's beautiful. While the rest of the world, with all due respect, is asleep. They're asleep at the wheel. They're texting while they're driving. I'm just kidding around. They're watching Netflix for 8 hours a day. They're eating fast food 3 meals a day, and they're asleep. And they're going, someone else will raise my kids. My kids will turn out fine. My wife will be fine. And unfortunately, how often does that work out for anybody? I'm going to go with never, ever. So I want to be leading the charge the other way. What if I just give my all to being the best bloody husband I could be? I want to be Father of the Year, not for the accolades, but for my children and for the society that my kids are going to be raised in and grow up in and live in one day, and that they can be leaders and lead others to that kind of joy and happiness. Wow, am I going off on tangents, brother? But
No.
I am enjoying.
Good. Dude, I'm writing. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm writing notes. I'm letting you run because I love it. This is why we get along. Smart people learn from their mistakes. Wise people learn from other people's mistakes. So that's a Siegelism. You can have that one. The daily growth. I want to dig into the daily growth, but I want to ask you a question. Are you a reader or do you listen to books?
Both, but right now it's much more audibles, and wow, can you get through a lot more audibles? I did Energy Bus in 24 hours because that book is awesome, and I'm like, I got 10 minutes. Well, I got to listen to more Energy Bus right now.
John, That's what got me introduced to personal growth, personal development. John Gordon's Energy Bus. I read that so many years ago. He was supposed to be on last week, and we had to reschedule because of our both of our calendars were full. So he's gonna be on soon, and I just booked his wife, so I'm super excited. That whole family's amazing. So the Energy Bus. If you read one book, that was my next question: is what would one book? And I've said it a million times. Mine is the Four Agreements. What is one book that's a must read in your home?
It's Atomic Habits by James Clear. Atomic Habits there are so many unbelievable nuggets in that book, especially for teaching you how to develop good habits. And he speaks so clearly and simply so that even simple guys like me can understand just this. Here is how you will develop this habit. Here's why you haven't been hitting the habit the way you want to. Just do it this way. And he gives all these beautiful examples, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, I can do that. And then all of a sudden he also shows you how to check the markers. Here's how you're doing it. And when you know you're doing it right, oh my goodness, I'm starting to do it right.
So we're 16 minutes into this, and you haven't mentioned faith at all, and I'm going to give you a little nudge. So you're a big person talking about choice, what you want to be in life, how you want to live, the importance of faith, discipline, entrepreneurship, health. Talk to me about faith. Because that's where our conversation went. And, it makes gratitude a lot easier when you believe in a higher power. Now, I know that you're very religious and that but go there and tell the people about you. I'd be as genuine, authentic as you can be.
Well, thank you so much, brother. Well, can I caveat by saying this? Because I know there's going to be a lot of listeners right there. And before you turn it off going, here comes the Christian rant. Furthest thing from it. I want to say this. I know why you're listening to this podcast. You're listening to this podcast because you want to figure out how to play a bigger game in life. I should be doing more. I can do more. Just where do I go from here? This is where I just encourage people, find God. You won't find a single guy in my position, these higher up guys like the Tony Robbins and the Ed Miletts of the world, who don't say the same thing. You have to find God. And here's why. I'm going to try and put it as simple as a concept as possible. If you don't have something bigger in your life than you, this world is just too heavy to sit on your shoulders. You have to have God. Now, I'm not going to shove Jesus down your throat. That's not what this is about. You find God on your own terms. One of the best things to do is go, God, if you're there, just like I told Kelly, if you're there, will you show me? Will you talk to me? Help me to believe it. Help me to have faith. Because here's the thing. If you're going to be limited that way, man, just think about the average person dealing with one mortgage. Just one mortgage on your shoulders. It breaks most people. It cripples us with stress and anxiety. I can barely pay this bill. Okay, but wait, you want to play a bigger game? You want to have multiple mortgages? You want to have employees who now you're responsible for their mortgages too? At one point, one of my companies, I did a quick calculation, and if I shut down my business that day, there was 100 families who wouldn't be able to pay their mortgage. So I had 100 mortgages on my shoulders just from that one business. Well, the math is pretty easy there. That's 100 times more stress. I'm no superhero. I can't handle stress. I'm not a psychopath who doesn't even know what stress is. I had to have God. I had to know that there was something bigger than me. So it wasn't me trying to lift up 100 mortgages. I knew that God had his plans. And the better your relationship with God, this is not blind faith, everybody. I have this amazing relationship with our Creator, the Creator of the world. He loves us so much. He loves you listening right now. He forgives you for anything you've done. Isn't that amazing? But all you have to do is ask for the forgiveness and it's yours. So I've got this amazing relationship with my God. We speak every single day. He shows me every single day how generous, loving, and amazing he is. He's led me on unbelievable paths. At times when I thought this was the path and he led me over here, even when I was younger, I would always, what are you doing, God? This is obviously the path. This guy's watching from 1,000 feet up going, are you kidding me? This is the path for you, brother. My son, go this way. And always his path is better.
I would add two things. First of all, be specific about your ask. Be specific. And then the second thing is, I started off saying source and energy and higher power. And then, I said to you, I'm just so just this God thing. It keeps coming to me. And you're being called, bro. You're being called. And you're like the fifth person that's highly religious saying that. So I just go with it. I'm the chosen one. Everything works out for me. And I just surrendered and just let it be. And you spend too much energy trying to fight it. And there's something out there, man. There's something out there. So again, be specific. And if you're uncomfortable with saying God, then just say source, higher power, and just go at your own pace. I got a question for you. I'm going to put you on.
Kelly,
Go ahead.
I want to tell you, you are the chosen one. And I just want I want to highlight how amazing that is. The creator of the whole universe is going, I want Kelly. Kelly, I'm coming after you, my son. I love you. That's awesome to think about, bro.
I'm not hard to find, but I'm coming after him and everything else because I'm not going to disappoint. I'm here to leave a dent, leave a mark, and leave a legacy and make this world better. And that's what the heart of the life is all about. That's how it started. You said you want more out of life. That's how Heart of Life was born. I wanted more out of life. I was having a blast. Life was good. It's so much better now. So I had a question for you. Oh, I want to put you on the spot a little bit because you're brilliant, man. How many kids out of that 100 would have been affected? Do you know? You're the type of guy okay, because I know exactly how many kids, and I remember there was a healthcare issue. Like somebody did, we use this outsourced company, and they forgot to pay our health insurance. And I was able to say at that time, I think we were 19 kids. And I said, 19 kids can't go to the doctor right now because you guys didn't do your job. So I always take it down and boil it down to what it means to think. Because to me, I couldn't be here doing this podcast without my IT family, National Technology Management, which, by the way, you're a big business guy. We came up with this. We're disruptors. And you know me, I'm always disrupting. So we came up with this per user IT pricing with 3 tiers for everybody. And we made it so easy to do business with us. It's hilarious. So we're always tinkering and trying to make it better because we're growing. And we're in a tough economy here in Michigan, but it's that the business is thriving. And we have such strong culture and core values that they encourage me to get my hind parts out and here to be able to be with people like you that will help me spread the word on the IT company, which grows it.
I love it. I love it. What a brilliant plan, brother. And you are such a great leader, man. I know you hear that a lot, but I just wanted to tell you that. You're
Marcus, I never hear it enough. No, I for the longest time before all this, even when I met you, I had a hard time receiving accolades. Now I feel them all the way through. I felt that right in my heart, and I receive it, and I appreciate it, and I'm going to continue to get better and better. You want to talk about, what did you put, daily growth? I mean, I've got 2 podcasts in today, several social medias, 1,000 freaking comments on people, pumping them up, several text messages to people trying to get them going. I've already read 10 pages in a book that I'm trying to finish up of someone that sent it to me. And, we're just going to keep growing and keep growing and keep growing. So I cannot sit still. I want to be better than I was yesterday. I was just talking to, I was talking to somebody that I talked to a couple months ago, and they're like, you're different already. 2 months later, I'm like, yes, highest compliment you could ever give me. Don't want to sit still.
I love that. Hey, but let me just highlight something real quick for everybody listening. I know many of you are going, yeah, but I'm no Kelly freaking secret. I know. But success leaves clues. Listen to all that he's doing right there, and you will watch this guy grow every day. The version of Kelly in a month from now is going to be better than today's, and you're going to go, oh, well, he's lucky or whatever. No, he's doing all the right things. Listen to his list. You do those things, 1 + 1 = 2 every time. Successful people know this. You do this, you will get these results. So take action. Do something about it today. Don't just absorb. Don't just consume. Take action, and you're going to get those results.
Besides taking action, Marcus, I'm going to deviate again. What are some of have you found to 10x the action? Because 1 + 1 = 2, but 2 × 2 = 4. So how do you X multiple something?
I love it. This is where you have to have a team, and you have to empower your team. If you just have yourself, You will always be stuck at 1 + 1 = 2. I start there because I think there's a lot of people who haven't mastered 1 + 1 = 2 yet. But as soon as you can, now start turning to the people around you and empowering them. Find people and let them work in their zone of genius. What I mean by that is, if you don't love accounting, I don't want to deal with the numbers, then you find a great freaking accountant and you let them do their accounting. You don't sit over their shoulder. Oh, wait, you're doing that. That's their business now. If you don't love marketing, you get someone who loves marketing. That's their zone of genius. Now we're talking multiples. Now we're talking that 2 × 2 × 6. Whoa, that's a way bigger number. And so the more I empowered people around me, I was so foolish not to learn this earlier in my career. But I started empowering, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to do less and less. But I felt I was experiencing way more success. But then there was also, I was feeling success at a whole different level. It's one thing for you to accomplish some things, and okay, now I can buy the house, I can buy the car, I can do all these things. Man, that is such fleeting joy. You get it for a moment, and you're like, oh, I thought there would be more to it than that. But I'll tell you what real success looks like to me: empowering this person who works with me, who works for me, to achieve their dreams, but then to also feel like, wow, I'm making some big decisions. You don't think they don't go home like that to their wife and their kids, and it's like, that's right, I'm the man now. Like, that's so beautiful. And I love seeing that human being grow that way. That's success to me. And then that allows me to do more things with more companies, with more amazing people. And this community is getting better and better.
Yeah, that you said 10x is easier than 2x. That's the book. And then I got a guy on tomorrow who wrote a book about do nothing, which it isn't. It's being funny, but he's like, do less to do more. And he talks about meditation and how you clear your mind. And I'm a big proponent of saying no more. And then my buddy Dan Martell, you may know him. He said 80% done by somebody else is better than 100% done by you. I prescribe to that. I mean, this morning somebody asked for a new bio of me, and I said to my sister, I said, write it. And she goes, well, I don't know what to do. And I said, yes, you do. You're the closest person to me. Go ahead. I trust you.
I love
Sure. I'm sure it's fine. I didn't even look at it. I trust people. It's all good.
That's beautiful. And how did that feel to her? Now she's like, wow, that's a beautiful trust, man. Thank you.
And what they say, there's an old adage, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I'd throw that in there when you were talking, because I love these little Kauliusisms. Kauliusism. Why do I have a hard time with your last name? Kaulius. Jeez. Kaulius. I don't know why I struggle with that. Can you share a story? Because we just said we don't do anything alone. So can you share a story of a mentor or a role model who had a profound impact on your life and aspirations?
There's a few. I'll tell you, Ed Milet, who we don't even know each other yet. We have many friends in common. He's a spectacular role model in my life, and I can't wait, because I just know his energy and my energy are really gonna jive. He's been a massive role model in my life, and I'll tell you one of the key reasons why. He speaks the same language as me. He's someone who is a businessman doing big businessman things, but he's not afraid to talk about his faith. He's not afraid to talk about the things he's not great at. Being vulnerable, that's a big deal. People are so afraid of being vulnerable. Man, that's how you develop real connection. And it's also how you out your weaknesses. And I'm such a fan of that, because I'm the kind of guy that if I say it out loud, hey, here's what I'm not doing great at, I don't want to have to admit that again. If I'm going on a podcast in a week from now, I better have taken a few steps to make that weakness a whole lot better. It better be one of my strengths pretty soon. Now, I don't expect to have it totally better in a week. But man, if I'm doing the right things, I know that 1 + 1 is equal 2. And within a year, that will be one of my strengths. And so, one of the things, wow, I can't believe it. I'm actually just remembering this right this moment. It was about 5 or 6 years ago. I wrote down, I'm not loving enough. And I was really bothered by that. There was just, when people were around me, I just didn't have enough love for them. And then I was like, that I need to make changes. So I started making changes every single day. And 6 months later, when I went to do the exercise and I had a group of my peers around me, not employees, we did the exercise and we rated each other's strengths, and every one of them said love was my number one. And do you know how good that felt to change it from what I thought was actually my worst to something that I was best at? And now it's my favorite thing to do. It's so easy for me to pour love onto somebody, and I love the reaction it gives them because I honestly love people. I love seeing how unique people are and how unique their strengths are. I've been so looking forward to coming on here and hanging out with you again, brother. There's so much strength that you have, and it's so beautiful. The way you lead is so beautiful. I was just excited to be around you today.
Thank you. And I think the reason why you love me is because I love you, and so I walk around. I said this to Tim's story. He was on the other day, and I just walk around and I pat my heart and I make sure that love is emanating out of it all the time. So I know you're all the way across you're in Canada and across the continent. I hope you can feel the love because I'm sending it your way always and forever. Even the people that don't deserve it are getting it. So they need it the most.
They do need it the most.
I have to go back to that question and point out a brilliance of Markus Kaulius. You don't know it, but yet he's a mentor. That's available to everybody right now. So I will tell you something. So Tuesday, both of us aired Jen Gottlieb on our podcast because she just released a book and she's friends with everybody and she's amazing. So I released my podcast. He released his. He's the grand poobah. I've never met him. We're about a step away from each other. And I got to watch the greatest, the GOAT, do his interview. And then I watched mine. And then I watched my social media team release my reel, then his. And I went, yep, I got some work to do, but I'll catch him eventually. But that's what it's all about. Mentorship is free if you want it. It's available everywhere. You can get a book. You just said you can listen to a book. You can listen to a podcast. You can follow them on social media. It doesn't cost you $1. Nothing.
No. Yes. And Kelly, can I add to that, by the way?
Absolutely.
So I absolutely pour my love out for Ed every single day. I pray for him. And do you know what's wild? John Gordon is another mentor of mine. And I love John. Haven't met him yet either. And I have no doubt he has already felt the love I have for him. I pray for John.
How have you not met John Gordon?
I just haven't requested the introduction yet. I've been waiting for God to make his timing happen. But I've been praying for John Gordon and his family for, I want to say, almost a year now, every single day. He's on my heart. Like, I know John Gordon has played already such an awesome role in my life, but it's going to be even better.
Well, if you want an email introduction, we will do that. I'll have my assistant do that right when we get back. They were just on the phone yesterday talking to each other, just getting it set up because we had to reschedule. So I think the two of you would be great. And also Steven Scoggins is a dear friend of mine. He's somebody you should be chatting with. You guys would be on fire with your faith conversations. And John is so deep in it. And I just respect it profoundly. And we could sit here and have a whole podcast about God and Jesus. And I don't take any of that. I like learning from people that look at life differently than me. So you tend to look at it pretty similar. So we're the same. I'm going to skip a couple of these questions because I got one that I really, really, really like. You've achieved remarkable success, and we keep talking about gratitude. So I want to say, how do you balance ambition with contentment and gratitude in your life?
Wow, that's a deep question, brother. Oof. The ambition. I mean, I almost have to break this down into pieces. The ambition, I have to feed that thing. That ambition in me, I have to feed it, but I also have to constantly question, where is it directed and why is it directed in that way? Ambition is one of those things. It's like a fire hose. And if you're not holding on to it tight, man, it's going to spray the wrong spot. So to me, my ambition, it has to be focused on God's purpose. Like, what is my purpose on this planet? And it's so easy to, it's starting to spray the wrong way. But that new car that's out. Have you seen the new Ferrari? I kind of want that new Ferrari. And boom, your ambition starts pointing the wrong way.
Mm.
And you and I have been down that road, and I know you know what I'm talking about, that you achieve this thing and you get this thing in your life and you're like, oh wow, that wasn't it. That was, I should not have been going for that. That doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like I thought what they sold me on, it was a lie. So that ambition has to be pointed constantly for me at my purpose on this planet. And whatever I'm going to receive, I don't have to be some big businessman. I don't have to have accolades. I don't have to win awards. I don't have to be on covers of magazines anymore. I just want to serve, and I just want to be the person that God wants me to be. And it just so happens that that guy receives all the things that he really wants out of life, which is to help others, to serve others, to lift others up, to make others smile, to make others feel more confident and that they're on the right path and they're doing the right thing and they can be better and they can level up. And it just so happens that if you follow your authentic self, who you were designed to be. See, the world needs exactly you, exactly the way you're supposed to be. Now, if you act that way and you do the things that are on that path, then you feel so fulfilled. That's the way to happiness and fulfillment and bliss. And anything else, you know you're going on the wrong path.
Your smile is beautiful, and I love you. You're handsome, and I've gone 35 minutes into this, and I didn't talk about it. It's November. This probably won't air till probably January, and you have a book coming out in February. Play a bigger game, and it'll be out in February. You can get all these gems in this. Please send me a pre-copy of it. I'll read it again, and we'll have you back on the week that it releases, and we'll do what we can because I love books. So send that to me. But playabiggergame.com. Can you pre-order yet or no?
Not yet. Probably, actually, by the time this comes out, absolutely, you can pre-order
Okay.
it, and I so appreciate that.
We'll have it in the show notes.
I love that. One reason I think your audience is going to love this book, I use my language. Like, that's the number one thing everybody who has read it so far has said. They're like, Markus, it's like being in the room with you. I don't use sophisticated language. I just talk like I'm talking right now. And Play Bigger Game, it's all the ways that I changed my life and all the lessons I learned along the way so that I could play a bigger game and achieve what I've achieved. And I'm just so happy to pour that out into people. And I know for a fact, if you do the things I encourage you to do in this book, the challenges that I give you, I know for a fact you do any one of them, it will change the trajectory of your life.
Grant, do you believe him? I don't know if I believe him.
I am convinced that Markus is convinced of all this. No, this is
you
great.
Drink caffeine, bro?
I am been caffeine free for some time, brother.
You're amazing. I love it. So I just switched all these questions a little bit. I just flipped some other things because I want to divert. If you could create one law in the universe, what would it be and why?
Create one law in the universe.
Yeah.
Holy moly, what a question. Wow. It would have to be around love. It would have to be around love. It would have to be that you weren't allowed to deny the love that you have, that you're wanting to send out. You wouldn't be able to deny it. You'd have to let it out. You'd
come on. You just, wait. Well, hold on. I thought you were going to say you had to receive it because that's my hardest thing. I still struggle with receiving love.
No. And that's also, I mean, you're getting into a real gray area there because how many dudes love that beautiful woman and she better receive that? No. I'm saying the love that you have, you can't restrict it. You can't hold it back anymore. So imagine the world we live in. Everybody's going around and going, hey, you have such a beautiful dog. I just wanted you to know, I love your dog and I love you for taking care of this beautiful dog. And we just would have so much love. Think of how much fear would be gone from this world, how much anxiety, how much pain, how much struggle would all disappear in the presence of that love.
All you need is love. Love. It's great. I say it so much. All right. If you could have dinner with one person that is alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Ed Milet. I think the world of this guy. He is changing so many lives. I have so much love for what he's doing and who he is. And I know I have a special kind of love that I can feed into my brother Ed. And Ed, if you hear this, man, I love you. I'm so proud of you for what you're doing. But I just love to be in his presence and his energy. And I think it would be just amazing to be around him.
That's kind of when I knew that I belonged. I went to the Arte Syndicate in Nashville last year about this time, and people were coming up to me saying, "Do you coach? Do you?" And I'm like, "Guys, they're up there." And I will be on stage with him someday, and I will do my best to make sure everybody, because I like to take all my homies with me. What's your biggest fear?
Sharks. Can I actually tell you a funny story? I know that's not exactly the kind of answer you wanted to hear, but my fear of sharks is so unreasonable and ridiculous. My family allowed me to watch Jaws. I'm not sure. I was either 5 or at the latest I was 6 years old. It messed me up so bad, even to today. But now I've actually convinced myself that these are actually warnings, because check this out. So I take my wife to Turks and Caicos this year, and we've got this beautiful snorkeling adventure planned out. And so, of course, I research like shark attacks, Turks and Caicos. There's been 2 shark attacks in the last 30 years. I'm like, amazing. There's no sharks. Awesome. We get into the taxi, go into our hotel, and there's this conversation going on, and the guy's going, "No way, it was a propeller of a boat that cut off that woman's leg." And I was like, pardon me, what's this? There was a freaking shark attack at my resort 6 days before I got there. I'm like, there's a freaking hungry shark in the waters in front
he's
of
full
my
now.
resort. No way we're going snorkeling.
I see producers laughing.
Yeah. No, now the odds of that happening twice in 1 week have to be pretty low, right?
That's what I'd be saying.
I so agree with you. Or that shark got a freaking taste of something he liked, and I have this belief. I'm so convinced we know we give off energy. You want to know if pets can pick up on energy? You look at a dog around a person who doesn't like dogs. It's like, or if anybody's going to get bitten, it's that person who's like, dogs. Well, guess what I'm doing in the water? Sharks. Man, a shark can see a drop of blood from 5 miles away. You think a guy vibrating in the water like this going, "Please no sharks, please." All the sharks are like, "Hey, what's that? Hey, what's that?"
So we're positive. We're supposed to face your fear. So I go right into that. So that's funny, man. I finally got you deviated off of your positivity train. So it's good. Let's go back a little bit. And what message? And you've said a few. So I want to put you right on the spot. What message or piece of advice would you like to share with aspiring individuals who look up to you as an inspiration? One piece.
My story is a story of if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Ugh, come on now. That's what I say all the time.
I had no leg up in life. I have so much belief that anybody can stand out right now. Today is the greatest day in history to stand out. Why? Because nobody's doing anything. Nobody's doing anything. Everybody's on the couch. Everybody's watching Netflix. Everybody is taking a back seat in this life. If you want to take the keys and drive this thing, you have to do this much to stand out as a freaking superhero. All you have to do is start moving towards your goals. Work, grow. You stand out so fast. I couldn't believe. I just started going down this path a little bit, and people are like, "Whoa, Markus, you're so this or that." And it's like, what? I've been on this path for like that long. That's all it takes. Just keep going down that path. Grow a little bit each day. I'm telling you, it'll be less than a year before you're on people's shoulders and you're like, wow, why wouldn't I have done this so long ago? You have the skills, you have the capabilities. Just start moving forward.
I've said that 1,000 times. I just gave somebody advice last night. I said, once you face your fears and you actually go through them and you get on the other side of them, you look back at them and go, that's what I was afraid of. Really? Yeah. It is literally, if I took all of the reasons why I'd sabotage my life and put them all into one, and if I'm on the other side of it, I look back and go, that was insane. It was just getting through them was hard, but in a short period, instead of taking 40 years of punishing myself, I took the last 4 and beat up on myself, and they're gone. And now I get to live the next 40 years surrendered and in peace and focused and just happy and centered. Go ahead.
Because of that, brother, I know your success is going to look like a hockey stick.
Well,
I know
success is to give away everything anyway. So this is my success is going to be for charity. Somebody said here, I was working with my TEDx coach before we were here, and he called it, "You have charity muscle." I don't know what that means, but I love it. Charity muscle, because everything we're going to do, we're going to give away. So thank you. It'll be for charity, and you'll see it all over social media. Besides the book, what's the next big goal or dream you're working towards, and how do you plan to achieve it?
Oh, thank you. You know what? I'm so lit up right now, Kelly, these days. God's given me playbiggergame.com. So playbiggergame.com, this has been my life's work, and it's all coming crystal clear. My focus, my alignment. Playbiggergame.com is for anybody who knows that they should be playing a bigger game in life. And this is a community for you to come and join. This is for people who want a community to lift them up, keep them accountable, support them, have them thinking bigger, and just feel the love and support from people who have this same mindset. If you are liking this energy I'm putting out, you have to come check out my community. It is going to be the most beautiful thing I've ever been a part of. And by the time this launches, the business are already in full swing, and I can't wait for you guys to come join me.
I love it. You get poured into by you every single day is right. Profound. Is there any? Go ahead.
Can I tell you one gift I'm giving away, by the way?
Absolutely.
For the first 10 weeks of the business, so that's starting January 1st, every week for 10 weeks, I'm going to go on to a random community call within my community, and I'm going to give away $1,000. Just because. So people who are showing up, $1,000. Plus, January, February, and March, I'm going to give away every month a trip for 2 to LA to come hang out with Kelly and me when we do a big book launch in LA. And it's going to be an unbelievable day. I'm hoping and expecting someone like Ed Milet, John Gordon, and some amazing other people to be there to pour life into you, to help you grow, to help you on your path to play a bigger game.
I love it. Is this like a pseudo mastermind, what you're putting together?
Sorry, for the launch in LA is actually, no, it's just going to be a one day.
I meant the business that you said just launch in January 1st. Is that going to be, you said a community, is that going to be more of a mastermind family like?
Excellent question. So there's courses, there's calls. The community calls are so valuable, and it's going to be on multiple different foundational elements. It's not just business. It's your relationships. It's your health. It's your faith. Whatever you want to grow at, wherever you want to play a bigger game, we've got you covered. The community calls are coaching and mentoring and masterminds.
Let's talk offline, because I'm building a community app that will be done in a month, and I've been running it by Craig, and I have this weird dream of building a positive, like absolutely only positive social media app where there's community guidelines. If you're negative, if you're act as a crabs in a bucket, if you lie, cheat, steal, you're out. And I just want to bring a bunch of us positive people together, and just so you can go on, I'm not going to mention any names. You can go on the social media apps and you feel bad about yourself, or you're angry, or you're reading negative comments, and then you end it on, my daughter named it Healthier Than Life. It's going to be under the Harder Than Life brand. And then I want to go there. I want you to end your day there and start your day there, so you get lifted up. You get a ton of Marcus, probably some Craig Siegel, some Kelly Siegel, and we're going to make it. And it started off, it was supposed to be a fitness app, and it's morphed into this community of awesomeness. So I'll have a prototype for you in a couple weeks. We're aiming to launch a soft launch December 1st, and this thing will probably be a part of January 1st, and it'll be just a place for us to, I don't want to do any of those. I just want a community. Yes. And I want to bring people together and make life better, growth-minded individuals. We'll talk offline. It's just for two. It's there's no coincidence that you're launching January 1st and we're looking December 1st. And remember, this is just the app, so it can provide the framework for you. We'll talk offline. Is there something
hard? Yes. And if you need an investor, I'm investing in that. That is what this world needs. I freaking love it, brother.
You put your money where your mouth is, and you just walk the talk, and it's just beautiful because. Yeah. You're giving things away, and it's just what I like to do because I want to do the same thing. Like you help me build this meter. I want to put this meter because the goal is to give away $1 million from the app a year. And I just want to say, it's going to be positivity with a cause, with passion. So I'll tell you more about it. But is there something I didn't ask you that you feel compelled to share?
You know what? My biggest thing was to share my new community with everybody. That's I'm so excited to share it. I'm so excited to be on the journey with people. I love pouring that into people and helping. And my favorite thing. You want to see my goals come true? Then come. Let me pour my love into you to watch you grow as a human being, as a business person, as a father, as a mother, as a healthy contributor to this world. That's what I love.
What do you eat to be so? First of all, your skin is perfect. You're thin. You're bright. Like I just partnered with a longevity doctor because I want to live to 100, 120, and I'm going through everything in my body to make sure that I'm healthy. You look amazing, and your energy is provided. I think it's 3 hours. Are you 3 hours earlier than us right now? What time is it?
Yes, sir. 3 hours earlier.
Yeah. So I know it's still a little bit earlier, but you are just as fresh and as happy as can be. What's the secret?
Thank you, brother. Honestly, I see food as fuel. I think we've diverted so far from that in this world. And I know a lot of people, come on, man, I enjoy food too much. I promise you, I enjoy food so much. I don't eat boring foods, but I just eat the right foods, and I kind of only eat the right foods. Now, I still have my treat meals once in a while to goof off, and that's fine. But things like alcohol, we gotta bring that down. You gotta.
I didn't even ask you that. Do you drink?
No, I drink once in a while, and I never judge. Just so you guys know, if you guys are ever around me, never catch me judging you. Again, I only come up from a place of love, so I won't even be like, "Ooh, is that your third time?" I love celebrating with people. If you want to drink, that's great. But I do want to tell you, you got to know we're putting poison into our body every single time, and my body just was like, what are you doing, dude? And I want to perform at my best. I want to play the biggest game I can play in life. Well, there's certain things you just can't do. You can't have a bunch of sugar in your diet every day. You can't have poison in your body every day. So I eat just clean foods. I eat clean proteins, clean carbs, and lots of vegetables. I get my greens every day. I get my exercise every day. But you know what? I think more than anything else, by the way, thank you for the compliments. I think more than anything else, what you see coming out of my skin is the love. When you, I hate to sound like a broken record, but when you change your pattern to only give out love, it comes out of your skin. It really does. Like if you come near me, you will feel a different energy because I just have so much love. And this is a beautiful side of it.
No, I can vouch for it. I was in your energy and I could feel the love, and that's why we're here. And there are no coincidences. I think it's funny that you're on a month before or 2 weeks before we're set to launch this app, because I'm going to invite you to look at it and at least help me with the blind spots and make sure that we're creating, because it's all about value. I want to make the world a better place. And that sounds like what you're launching with your community. What better time? And this is God lending to like-minded individuals. So I really appreciate you coming on, and I have your cell phone. I will be in touch. I love you very, very much. And I want to remind the listeners to please rate and share this podcast. I do my best to respond to all the comments on all social platforms. So if you see more of something or less of something, leave a comment and I'll do it. Each and every episode is sponsored by the aforementioned National Technology Management, the easiest and best IT company to do business with. Delivering peace of mind with technology every day. Visit trustntm.com for more info. And until next week, be harder than life. I love you, Marcus.
Love you, brother.
Nice work.
Thank you for listening. Please rate and subscribe to Harder Than Life, and let's take this to the next level. Get connected at the links below.